Good morning. Welcome to Life Online. Thanks for joining us today. I grew up on a farm in Nebraska. There's nothing more beautiful than thunderhead clouds that are on the horizon, especially when it is a dry season. So in the heat of the summer in the city, I look at a weather forecast and it has more to do with how hot is it and is there going to be rain today, but it's based on my plans. And farmers need rain for crops. And so in dryland farming where we had no irrigation, there were many times that we would pray for rain. But we would anticipate rain when it was in the forecast, and especially when you started to see the clouds roll in. And it was a promise of blessing that was to come. By the way, this is a great word picture for us in spiritual realms. In fact, at Life Christian Fellowship, we're preparing to look at the prophet Joel and what he has to say. And we know Joel, many Christians do, from this great outpouring of God's Spirit on the day of Pentecost in Acts chapter 2. Peter said, this is what Joel prophesied about. These are the powerful verses. Verses 28, 29 of chapter 2, and afterward. I will pour out my Spirit on all people, and your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions. Even on my servants, both men and women, I will pour out my Spirit in those days. And by the way, these are those days. And I don't know about you, but I think there's an important question as we just head into our day. Do you anticipate an outpouring of God's Spirit today? This one's really important. As I awoke this morning, this was on my heart. What will God do? But this question of, is it in my heart? And I anticipate that God is going to do something amazing today. Whether it's in your life, whether it's in the life of family members, ones who are loved and dear ones, but there may be people that you're working with today. And in the environment, you have no idea of the divine appointments that are ahead of you today, and somehow you have a role to play in this outpouring of God's people. For Peter, it was standing up in the middle of the commotion on the day of Pentecost and all the marvelous things that were happening, and he just gave forth the words as he stood with the 12, and gave forth the words that pointed and says, this was prophesied centuries ago, and this is what it is about. And maybe God will use you like that in a role today, and maybe He will use the kind of role where there's a prayer that you pray, that God would pour out His Spirit upon somebody's life. So I want to challenge you, live your life today, and live it in such a way that you anticipate an outpouring of God's Spirit. Not just somewhere down the road. This is the day. Now is the time. God is pouring out His Spirit on all flesh. He's not a respecter of persons. Let Him pour Himself out on you today. Hey, God bless. Have an awesome, awesome day.